Welcome, everybody. You ever feel like your life is just too complicated? There's too much family drama going on. You don't know who you love sexually and who you're related to. Sometimes it's both. Welcome to the attic. It's VC's Pieces. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to this episode of VC's Pieces podcast with your hosts, Tia.
And Katie.
That's me, she's her.
Here we are. Here we be.
Where?
In the yes.
In the yes.
Yep.
At the hotel.
Couldn't think of in the hotel.
Yeah, we're in the
we
hotel.
are up in the cove of your love.
Ooh.
Ooh.
How come cove and love don't rhyme? I'm gonna start calling it
Colors cove.
love.
I need a nice loaf of cove.
Get into my love cove. Welcome to the Love Cove.
Oh boy. And what time of day is it? Twilight. Child, did you notice that this is their whole theme is the time of fucking day.
Uh-huh.
But Castile didn't follow that pattern. Think about it.
Okay. Yeah, it was like Heaven, Dark Angel.
Gates of Paradise, Fallen Hearts,
Oh, yeah.
Gates of Paradise, Web of Dreams. Dollenganger had was all flower themed.
Yeah, it was all botanical.
It was all botanical. but,
Butt and anal.
butt and anal. So here we are, number 3 of Cutler's Cove Cutler series. And here is the synopsis.
Back flapping at you is Katie.
We are flapping back in the flatback machine. As Mrs. James Gary Longchamp, Dawn is blissfully happy, but a legacy of deceit and betrayal still haunts her. At last, Dawn can create a haven of warmth and love for her beautiful baby girl, Christy, with an I-E, and her darling Jimmy. Dawn is a huge success as the new owner of the Cutler's Cove Hotel, and soon she and Jimmy will be blessed with a child of their own. Yet Dawn cannot quell her forebodings of evil. She can sense Grandmother Cutler's presence everywhere, can feel her bitter hatred as if the old lady plotted her vengeance from the grave. When Dawn discovers that her brother Philip still clings to his mad, shameful passion for her, she is heart-stricken. Her spiteful, jealous sister Clara is far easier to ignore, until the day Clara's childish rage explodes into violence, destroying Dawn's most cherished, precious dream. Then, things are still happening in the back flap. This is the whole this is a novel.
It's like not even what it is though. Anyways.
Then Christy's father, debonair singing star Michael Sutton, returns. Now as the heartaches and scandals of the past threaten to engulf her, Dawn must fight for her steadfast Jimmy. For only with Jimmy's love can she find the rainbow at the end of the storm. I think that it's established right now that, first of all, backflaps, wildly inaccurate, obviously.
Wildly inaccurate.
Obviously, to hook the non-reader, we the reader know, and we the reader, looking at this, we know every plot point.
Yeah, we
don't.
I would like
do.
to mention, I don't know if we mentioned it before, but we don't even read the back flaps anymore until we read them for you.
I was thinking that because I like a live reveal.
It wasn't it? Well, it's because on
Because Dead Heaven.
Yeah, because of Dead Heaven. Like
Dead
whatever episode of Castile's where it's from Annie's point of view.
Yeah, right
on the flap. It was like, after Annie's parents were killed, and I was like, what the fuck now? So
what the fuck now?
I don't read the back anymore. Because it's also a hilarious surprise to read what they think they're telling you you're going to read after you've already read it.
I enjoy. Now, first of all, this is something that both of us were like, this is a fucking what the opposite of a page turner. It was a page burner.
It was a page stiller. Page Stiller, Ben Stiller's aunt.
Yep. Page non-turner. So we were I'm excited to
It was not a Tina Turner. It was a Tina Burner.
I'm excited to tell you there's a part, because I did text you and I was like, all right, it picks up like a little fucking bit. And I'm excited to tell you that point for me, and why, because that's where we're going to get all intellectual. And I'm excited about that. But Here, I'm excited that it picks up immediately.
Yeah, like it could have been the next page.
It ends like the last one ends like, and Jimmy and I got in the car to get Christy, and it opens, so we're in the fucking car.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that's a turn from others.
Like that.
So we open with Jim Jam and Dawn going to get Christy with an IE. I can't.
I just read, it sounds like it's like Tristy. That's how I want.
Get Trisket.
Tristy.
Well, that's a little weird.
I know, it's just
end.
like there's so much. I don't know.
Okay.
It is weird on my end.
And they drive because everything's fine now. And it was explained over the phone.
Yep.
It was explained. And they roll up to the adoptive parents' house. And the adoptive dad is a little curmudgeonly.
Yeah, he's kind of pissed. Fair.
What was his name? Who gives a shit?
The last name was Compton, which I thought was funny.
That is funny.
The Comptons.
I wrote down the mother's name was Patricia because I notated that Patricia, the adoptive mom, looks like a sad clown.
Yeah. So much weird
Still,
details.
I think that without Virginia Cleo, like, that's where we're getting these wacky ass metaphors. Like, Niederman can kind of like shuffle the story along and get those main, like, boom, 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 main bits, string to plot point. Like, it's a bulletin board.
Yep.
But it's those transitions. Like, I gotta flesh out who this person is. You look like a fucking sad clown.
Yeah,
Done.
it's like, it doesn't have like the delicate eye of a woman noticing details of other women.
Sad clown.
So yeah, he's just like this. Also, you know, the way that this was written, it was like, Dawn.
Yep. Here we are.
Okay. Dawn gave birth. Like 2 days later, Jimmy showed up, and then like
3 days later.
3 days later, there's the funeral, and now it's in.
If we're being generous, this baby's about 2 weeks old.
Max,
if we're being generous.
Max, but I feel like we're supposed to believe this baby's like 3 months old. No, like
3 months.
Yeah, like at least they've had her for a couple of months.
Because if we can haul her back to Grandmother Cutler dying, which we will, fantastic, great for her to die.
Great for everyone involved.
Even if there's like a week between like a death and a funeral, that's why I was anyway. So
Yeah. I don't think so.
I did actually write that down. How much time has elapsed since this baby snatching?
I feel like it was like a week.
All right. Dawn mentions that she thinks she's cursed forever. Like, girl, no, you wouldn't be C. Andrew's book. I felt like I was cursed forever. Check yourself. Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, I wish I could fourth wall you, Dawn.
Oh, give you a hard fourth wall. So
Reverse fourth wall?
that's like to the squared.
A cubed wall?
A room? Well, that's just a room.
I'd like to room you, Dawn. Now that sounds...
Right. Okay.
Moving
I
on.
like where we're going with this for like...
If any math geniuses can...
if you're at the cross section of like math and lingual arts...
Yeah.
Find out what term this is going to be when we let the character know.
Yes.
What's going on.
When we reverse fourth wall break, please email us the technology terminology to vcspiecespodcast@gmail.com.
I love that Dawn, she's a bossy bee to this lawyer. The lawyer's like...
She is.
The lawyer's like the family name. First of all, because again, what fucking year is it? We don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, the family name... the 1600s. Not sure. He's like, maybe this baby, let's just fucking leave it. And she's like, fuck you. I'm going to hire a lawyer to do this if you fucking can't. And he's like, all right,
Here's a lawyer I know then. Fine.
fine, I'm a lawyer. Fine. There's an off the record custody. First of all, they said this whole thing could have gone on for quite a while, and it's wrapped up in a few pages. Yeah. By the by.
Thanks.
I mean, it could have been set up for a bit longer. Castile took a bit. It was like 2 chapters.
Yeah,
2 chapters.
And it's also obnoxious too that they rushed through that and then like it's fucking drawn out until you get to like the last quarter of the book. I feel like the rest of the storyline was just like, I'm just flipping pages. Get to the end.
So, yeah, okay. So there's an off the fucking record custody hearing. If you are a person and you like maybe watch a light smattering of Law and Order, What is this off-the-record custody hearing?
I think that it was more like the judge was there to kind of give his...
Like a mediation or opinion?
Yeah, he was supposed to, like, basically, so they didn't have to, like, get, like...
On the record.
Yeah, on the record, have it be a public thing. Instead, he was just like, all right, let me listen, and then I'll sort of advise you, but, like, you don't have to take what I say 100%. And once he heard it out, he was like, yeah, you should probably give this kid back, like...
I kind of like how okay, did you know what the judge said to Dawn? He scolded her for being a teen mom.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, some of the blame for this unpleasantness rests on you. Girl. He also was like, excuse me, Mr. Lawyer, you probably should verify that someone's fucking signed documents.
Yeah.
He was like,
seriously, this late? I don't know, I worked for her forever.
I know.
I felt bad for him. He got...
Mr. Updike?
Yeah. Well, because he got, like, Grandma Cutlered, you know? Like, I don't know, it was just noted that he seemed, like, truly, like, embarrassed and, like, ashamed that he didn't double check.
Do his job?
Yep. That he, like, just took Grandma Cutler's word for it.
So within a couple pages, so you're ready for, like, you're like, okay, here's the drama. Here we go. And then it's like, all right, we got the baby. So if it felt like you were ready to, like, all right, here's the thrust of the book. No thrust. Flaccid story. At this time.
Good dick. They just throw her in the truck and drive her back to Cutler's Cove.
Yep. So to get back to Cutler's Cove, and she's setting up the nursery, and Clara Sue rolls in as, like, a total dick.
Yeah, so Dawn moves into Grandmother Cutler's old suite.
Did she?
That's another thing that they fucking forgot that they wrote. Yes. She moves in there and puts the nursery across the hall from the suite.
I was a little... I kind of glazed over that part because I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we can just mention it now. Later, they say that no one has been in Grandmother Cutler's suite.
That's why I was immediately fucking confused by
That's why I was immediately fucking pissed off, because I was like, well, you just wrote... It was like 2 chapters ago. Yeah, they say, like, Dawn moves into Grandmother Cutler's old room and sets up a nursery across the hall so she doesn't put Tristy down the hall in the baby snatching nursery.
It's like a soft CH. Shushy.
But then later they're like, no one's stepped foot in that room.
Why?
Where's your vision board, Niederman?
Second of all, go in there. Just go in there.
She has to. She fucking lives in there. Like, then they never mentioned where they fucking moved to. Like, I don't know. It's weird. That was a weird... Like, why... How'd you miss that one, guys?
Clara Sue rolls up to see the baby and is a dick, and Dawn is like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, which I love.
Yeah, she like the day Jimmy goes back to the army, Claire, like, she like waves Jimmy off, goodbye, Jimmy. And then she goes back in and Tristy's missing because Clara Sue just like brought her to the dirty laundry hamper and left her in the basement.
Yeah.
And then she was like, lol, why is everyone freaking out?
I do love Dawn threatening physical violence.
Me too.
Also, before Jimmy went away, back to army. I'm going back to army.
I'm going back to army.
He was like, when we're married, I'll make you a long champ again. Ooh.
Yeah. That's not romantic. I'm sorry.
Do you remember when we were talking about when Chris and Kathy were married and they kind of took on this, I'm just an old married couple, and they were never like, oh, my sister, my brother.
Yeah.
These two...
Keep being like, lol, remember?
Oh, remember?
Remember when we were starving and had to share the same bed and we were embarrassed to look at each other's bodies because we were secretly in love? Thank God we're not really brother and sister. Somehow, like, the fact that they're not related is grosser.
Yes.
Which...
You would think is not the right...
Brilliant writing. Brilliant.
Christy goes missing. It's very tense for 2 pages.
Yep.
And then it's fine. Laura Sue's looking raggedy.
Is she starting to look raggedy?
I guess I made a note that says Laura Sue looked raggedy, hoping you would remember that I was talking about.
I don't feel that yet, but who knows?
So does Dawn even want... Dawn
Long champ.
Dawn not long champ yet.
Dawn Cutler.
Dawn pre-long champ.
Post-long champ.
She's both post and pre
long champ.
Ooh,
yeah.
A look for her. She's been bequeathed the rest of the hotel, 60% of the hotel. And my question to myself was, does she even want this responsibility? She could just sell, first of all. P.S. by the way, if you think that you have a torment and you want to be a singer, just sell your port. Just
singer.
Fucking.
I think she's kind of got the like the heaven sort of thing where it's like
This is my
I need to prove myself
responsibility.
to other people who I shouldn't care about their
P.S. Is she not even 18 at this time? Who would fucking know?
I don't think so.
Me? That's why I notated
I don't
it.
know because they changed her age in the last book.
I know.
I think
To not quite 16. So even if we're being a fucking generous that she was 16, turned 17 at the Meadows, she is not legally 18 now.
no. I think that when she got off the plane in New York, she said she was 17 and a half.
No!
Let me look.
No, because you were freaking out about the fact that she was all of a sudden 16.
16 and a half? I'm just
Yeah.
looking. I'm just looking. Yeah, almost 16 and a half. There you go.
How do you be almost a half?
I don't know. That's what she fucking
16.
said. That was the text. Yeah, so she's 18. No, not even. Ish.
She's not 18. She is not a legal adult.
No.
But she's getting all the quarterly reports to review.
Yep.
Randolph is fucking worse than useless. Ooh, he is losing it big time.
Yeah, he's having a cray-cray.
Yeah. He's like counting out cases of pens and like weighing out dry laundry powder.
Yep. Paper clips. He was like, they said that there was 100 in here, but some of them have 92. Ooh.
So Dawn's coming into her own.
Yep.
And there's a lot of like people being like, Mr. Dorfman, the comptroller, is like, here's the things. Should we just like run as usual? And she's like, fucking run as usual, I guess. And then whatever. So she's kind of like,
She's like, can you fucking teach me how to do this before you leave me to do it, please?
We are now introduced to Bronson Alcott, a tanned, mustachioed Southern gentleman banker type.
So happy to have another mustache come in. It's been a while.
It's been a while since we stashed it up.
Yeah, it's been a while since we were moist for stashes.
I am never.
I mean, me neither. I just mean like the royal VCWE.
The
VCWE.
The Vesui.
The VCWE.
The Vesui is moist.
Since you, dear listener, has been moistache.
You are moist for stashes. So
And they courted each other back in the day, Bronson and Laura Sue.
Laura, she's visiting Laura Sue. He's an old friend. You gotta get to know him. He's a banker. He's come to meet you because he holds the mortgage on the hotel or some flimsy excuse.
Some flimsy excuse for handsome visitors.
And Laura Sue is licking it up. Oh, that was an interesting choice of words. Lick it up. So, did you know, Tate, that within, again, the span of about a page, that 9 months old, Christy is the perfect baby because she's very feminine. And also can bang out a tune on the piano at 1 year old. Is she 9 months or is she 1?
I don't know.
She's just like mystery baby.
They were
age.
like, oh my God, she said mama when she was
Not even
3 years
2.
old.
Not
Listen,
even 2 or maybe 3. We don't know.
I have a niece and she's fucking smarter than Tristy.
Kirsty.
Ugh. Also, yeah, that's also when they're like, no one's been in Grandma Cutler's room since her death, and Dawn fucking lives in there. But I guess she doesn't. Ooh, also, I noticed that with talking about Laura Sue.
Yeah.
It's rather than appearing pale and sallow, her cheeks were rosy, her complexion peaches and cream. Looking like an animated, hand-painted Dresden doll, she moved about the hotel bestowing smiles and small talk. Throwback.
A Dresden doll.
Yeah.
Clara Sue cunts around. She thinks she's making fun of Jimmy because, like, he's not of a rich old family. She's like, is he going to get married in uniform? But, like, that's the fucking standard.
Yeah, it sounds like probably.
I mean, that's what people do.
Yeah. Good one, Clara
Good one,
Sue.
Clara Sue. It was also quoted that Laura Sue, quote, did not act like someone suffering any sort of disgrace.
Yeah, of course not.
Of course not. Randolph is fully fucking cray.
Yeah, he starts calling Dawn mother every once in a while.
And Dawn is all the time. She's like, this brother needs help.
I know.
And they're like, he's fine. He's mourning. It's fine.
Ugh, why do we have to talk about this unpleasantness?
And she's always like, a doctor needs to see him. Because Dawn doesn't feel like she should call a doctor or do anything because it's not her blood relation. But you can just call it. You can just call a doctor.
You know what? Yeah, if you feel like you want to call a doctor.
If someone's experiencing episodes of like psychosis, call a doctor.
Yeah. If you care about them. Or even if you just have mild concern. And no one else is doing a shit thing.
Yeah.
Which is a shit thing to do.
Philip rolls back into Dawn's life and would very much he would like Dawn to just kind of sweep this whole rape under the carpet.
Oh, yep. He's like, hey, can we be cool? And she's like, listen, I only didn't tell Jimmy because he would have fucking killed you.
He's like, great, thank you for that.
And she's like, yeah, you don't get it.
Perfect, thanks. No, that's not what you should take away from this, Philip. No, Philip. Trish calls with all the school gossip. But if Christy is at this point somehow almost 2, shouldn't Trish have graduated? I'm doing a U. I was doing a U.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know. Like, it's like a vortex of time. Yeah, I don't know. Like, time has passed, so I don't know. Like,
Just mystery time.
You know, I mean, if Trisha was like a junior or
Sophomore,
something, like
junior,
I think she would have graduated this
If
point.
she was 15 or 16 and a half almost.
Yeah, so Laura Sue, once Dawn gets engaged, Laura Sue is just like, fucking yes. She's planning every detail of the wedding. And Dawn's just like, gotta give the devil his due. She knows what she's fucking doing. Great.
But also, she was like, yo, Randolph. And Laura Sue's like, yeah, I had the doctor look at him. And the doctor thinks he should be inpatient. And I'm too embarrassed for that.
Yeah, that's so sad. She's like, oh, can you imagine if he went to an institution? I could imagine maybe he'd get better, Laura Sue.
I mean, we don't know what mystery time this is.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe he would have been getting electroshock treatments.
That still can help, though.
I know.
I don't know. He just shouldn't have been, yeah. So Daddy Longchamp can't come to the wedding because his wife, Edwina, is having like a dodgy second preggers. And so Philip ends up being the best man, which is fucking awkward as shit.
Yeah. Yes. And that happens. So.
Oh, yeah, not yet.
But yeah. Laura Sue does a great wedding.
Yeah, Trisha gets there.
great.
She's still rad as fuck. Like, she's so awesome. Trisha is the best.
Spoiler alert, she continues to be the best.
Yep. Yeah, wedding happens. Randolph dips out of the wedding to go find his mom. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh shit, mother's not here. He goes away. So Bronson has to give her away. And this didn't happen, but I noted, I swear to fucking God, if he's dad number 5. He is not. He is not. Grandfather Cutler was dad number 4. No dad number 5.
There's no 5 dads.
There's no 5 dads. Only 4. There's only poor Don only has 4 dads.
That's not like a semen melange, by the way. It's not
delicious.
It's not like 4 comes inside of
4 comes.
It's not like 4 comes at once.
A unit of cum is one cum.
It's not like
Measurement of cum is 1 cum. 4 comes. God damn it. Anyways, no.
Shut up. It's not like there were 4 comes at once, all up inside Laura Sue, just spinning around. That didn't happen.
Like one of those spin art paintings.
He crossed the line.
Uterine. Oh, okay, fine.
I feel like a uterine spin art would be like menstrual blood. Some like art college student has definitely done like a menstrual blood spin art.
If you're an art student that's ever done a menstrual blood spin art, please send pictures to
I want to see that shit.
at gmail.com.
So there's the wedding time, and the most horrible thing happens that's one step down from being raped by your half-brother, which is when they're doing the wedding vows, Philip is mouthing along.
Yep, right behind Jimmy, staring into Don's eyes, or trying to, mouthing along the fucking, I was going to say the lyrics, but whatever, yeah, the wedding lyrics. Oh, God, it's so cringy and disgusting. Oh, my God.
I just wrote, no, like,
Nope.
bad fucking dog, no.
Nope.
You do not get to do that. And
Not.
And I'm going to hit this later.
All right. This?
No.
No? Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Philip will do that to you.
So they go out to honeymoon, they being Don and Jimmy. Surprised Philip didn't like disguise himself as a piece of luggage.
Dawn at the reception is the only one who just looks after Randolph, and it's like, did anyone know where Randolph is?
Yeah.
And like, who cares? So she like finds him and kind of he's just tucked away doing another weirdness.
So sad.
She's the only one who gives a shit about Randolph.
Also, Randolph, like, this whole time has been, like, even though he's been cray-cray, he's been awesome to Christy. Like, she comes in, she's a very precocious and curious young child. And, like, she'd point to stuff and he'd just spend all this time explaining things to her. Like, you know, part of that is his mental illness and not realizing that she can't pay attention. But also, like...
It engages her for hours.
Yeah, like, oh... So they're off in Cape Cod because that's somewhere that their parents... How is that?
It's good.
This episode is brought to you by...
Drinking.
Collective Arts Mai Tai Sour and...
Citizen Cider Brosé. Cider with blueberries. And it was a surprising taste.
We're having some nice sipsies.
It is not brought to you, but if you want it to be, you can send us money or product.
Yeah. So Cape Cod, which they chose because Mama and Daddy Longchamp always talked about how they wanted to vacation in Cape Cod, but they never had the money to do it. Yeah. Like, that's a weird...
Yeah. You're right. It's grosser that they're not related.
Somehow it is. Because they're just, like, clinging to the fact that they thought they were.
They won't stop. Just drop it. Pretend.
It's not a thing anymore.
Repress it.
Not even repress it, but just be psyched that it's not a thing.
Just go forward.
Go forward.
Don't go backward. Go forward.
Ugh. So they're only there for like 2 days. They finally did some boning. We find out that they had never actually done a boning until the wedding night.
I think I skipped over some notes of the reception.
Oh my God, Kathleen, go ahead.
I wrote, Philip's eyes are limpid pools of desire. Again, what is limpid?
I'm going to look it up right now.
And for some reason, it's noted how often the guests applaud. Spoiler alert, it's after everything. These are just notes I make to myself as I roll my eyes, because this was a bit of a struggle to get through. It was like, and then they did this, and I applauded. And Philip's eyes were limpid pools of desire.
Clear, transparent, or pellucid as water, crystal, or air. Free from obscurity, lucid, clear. So completely calm without distress or worry.
They were clearly signaling his desire. Thank you.
Not calm, though.
Oh, yeah, and they leave for the honeymoon, and Philip calls after her, wish it were me to give you a fuckins.
Direct quote from the book.
It's my interpretation, but he was like, he's like, all right, goodbye. I wish it was me.
I was just like, does like a quick whisper.
Why?
Stop it, you're so gross. Stop. You are so gross.
I wish it was me. Yeah, okay, I'm glad we got back to that. Because why would you say that?
I don't know.
He can't handle the... Stop it!
Yes, fucking stop it.
Cut your dick off.
It's almost like two people who are like in love and getting married keep talking about how they thought they were related. This fucking guy is also just like, you know what? Remember how I'm a creep? Still am.
Wish I could fuck you.
Ew.
So anyway.
Yeah, they're trying to have a nice time on their honeymoon.
They haven't consummated before now.
Yep. And they had a great old humpins.
Right before they bone, Jimmy wants to reminisce more about being raised siblings. Do you crack up a new one so you can double fist it?
Yeah.
Actually, crack one of those open. He's like, remember? Now I'm inside you. Now, oh, that spurted everywhere like Jimmy when he fucked Dawn for the first time after being raised as siblings.
For the first time after being raised as siblings. That's not how you meant that to come out.
That's how Jimmy came out.
Oh my God, Kathleen.
So, is it a VC trope? Because he talks about her budding breasts and blossoming womanhood.
Yeah, everyone's got budding
breasts. And like, I bought the breasts of her budding breasts. And the biscuit of buttery biscuits.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, budding breasts.
I feel like my path to womanhood was more like primordial. Like from an ooze.
I still feel like an ooze.
So, it's very oozy.
Like currently an ooze.
Very like I have one leg sprouting and the other one's still like a fin. And I'm just like, I'm just trying my best.
I'm just a fucking human tar pit.
We're trying. That's what we're saying.
I'm not trying anymore.
Right. So, I also wrote romantic disgusting lobsters.
What?
They have lobster, and they're like, it's so romantic. It's not romantic.
Oh yeah, eating a lobster like
It's like slurping and spurting.
cracking. I want to note too to you, dear listener, that Katie does not like seafood at all.
Don't buy me a platter.
You can definitely bring me a shrimp ring any day.
Oh God, I swear to God, fucking Christ, if you bring me a shrimp ring.
Yeah, bring her a shrimp ring, but
So you can
only
have
if I'm there. So that way she'd be like, fuck a shrimp ring. I'm like, shoot.
Oh no.
Guess I'll have to ring in this shrimp. So, what?
So Randolph dies.
They get a phone call like the day after on the second day of their honeymoon, I
Yeah.
believe. They just come back from like parasailing or some freaking romantic, stupid beach bullshit. And
They
there's
probably talked about being brother and sister the whole time.
this would have been so fun when we were 12. And I think it's Updike on the phone, the lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, shit. So like, yeah, I guess Randolph just like wandered through town, through the woods, through brambles and shit, and ended up like face down on his mother's grave. And his heart just gave out.
Of course he was dead because when Dawn left, he said like a very formal like goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duh.
I mean, we knew.
Philip gives no shits that his dad's dead, and he's like, "How was your fuckins?" This is how I imagine. This is the filter that I filter Philip.
The filter, PHILTR.
So he, I'm sure, said something that was like, "Oh, I bet you had trouble pulling yourselves away from each other. Was it so many good things?" And all I wrote down was, "How was your fuckins?"
Yeah, seriously, he wants like details. He's such a fucking creep.
Gross, I hate him.
So gross. Page 119, we had a marshmallow carpet.
Yes, I believe I did remember this. It's good to note when that happens. Dawn takes on some of Grandma Cutler's mannerisms. I think I just jotted that down because she's getting more business-like. Because she runs a fucking huge business.
As a child, I don't know, she's 13. She's 2.5.
Laura Sue sluts it up for the funeral.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I can't look sad.
I gotta look good for this shit. I gotta look tight.
Yeah, hilarious.
Dawn, marshmallow carpet is in Dawn's office. I guess that's all. That's the only note I had for Randolph's funeral is she sluts it up.
Well, there was a quote that I had to write down because I was like, what the... And it was what we're talking about, how Niederman's just like analogy?
This isn't like that.
Talking about like, because Laura Sue like gets like a designer dress that's kind of like low cut, and it is noted that her crimson breasts bubbled over. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Why are they crimson? She's slapping the fuck out of their titties before she squoze them in the dress. Like,
Honey.
why are they crimson and bubbly?
So crimson if she's flushed. Do you ever flush across your chest meats? Who knows? People do.
Crimson and bubbling.
But also
Lava
bubbling.
tits.
That just means like a real push-up bra, which P.S. Niederman also writes as an uplift bra.
Yeah, which is cute. Aw. But
push-up.
that's what they used to call it.
I guess.
know,
For
anyways.
whatever, it's 1800. We
Yeah.
don't know. If they're
2032 or 1465.
So bubbling over is like your titties popping out, or like when your bra doesn't fit good and it like bisects your boob.
I know, but her crimson breasts
Bubbly.
bubbled over was
Bubble.
a fucking...
It was a bubbly
it was
bosom.
breast bubble breasts.
It was a bubbly bosom.
Bubble breasts, bosoms,
Blossoming with a buttery biscuit.
blossoming bubbly breasts.
Time goes on. Dawn becomes more business lady. She's very important at hoteling. She has a notepad.
Oh, yeah.
She has a notepad that she writes things on. Yup.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
She's a boss bitch.
She redecorates her office. It's Marshmallow Carpet Town. Clara Sue spends the summer on the Jersey Shore. Chef's kiss, she does.
Hilarious.
She's a fucking snooking it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Bronson Alcott. Laura Sue is always out visiting. She's so social now. She's
She's social.
Out. She pieces
you know,
the
like
fuck
she
out
doesn't
of
have
it.
any of those mystery illnesses anymore. She's so well. She just goes shopping and things.
She's many old friends.
And then she's like, hey,
Do you want to come
you
to
and
dinner?
Jimmy should come to dinner at Bronson's house. Like, you know, he's like a fucking bank man.
Yeah.
And you have to see, what the heck, Beulah Woods.
Beulah Woods, no relation to Elle Woods. I don't know why this is out of place. You can't see this, listener, but this is great because we were just talking about it. I'm highlighting the note.
Yes,
It says Laura Sue's bubbling titties.
Yeah. See, you noted it too.
I noted it. It must be out of place. Beulah Woods, no relation to Elle Woods.
I don't get it.
From Legally Blonde. The character Elle Woods. I whatever. I was like, oh, Beulah Woods, not Elle Woods.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I saw it like a couple times.
Cool.
We've never seen the sequel.
I know about like this Snap.
Ben and Snap.
Ben and Snap.
You only know the Jennifer Coolidge part.
I only know the Jennifer Coolidge part.
So, and also a sub this is Jimmy is like, he's head of maintenance now. He's doing a Daddy Longchamp.
And he loves it.
He's great.
Yeah.
Jimmy is just living his life and is having a great time.
Yeah, Jimmy's a cool dude.
Jimmy is a cool dude. And also when Dawn starts to get a little banana pants, he's like, what if you just fucking chilled?
Yeah. But not in like a super rude way.
No, and he's like, that seems interesting for you to say. What if we were just doing our jobs and living our lives? She's like, the curse. It's a curse. I feel cursed. This hotel. And he's like, okay.
He's like, but nah.
And so Jimmy's like, I really want to check out this cool place because we're going to build our own house on hotel grounds. We're going to build our own place on hotel grounds because this is a bit much for you and you need to get the fuck away.
Yeah, even if we're like 30 yards away.
You need to
get out of the building.
Step away from this. Great job, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Great.
What a thoughtful young man. Very brotherly.
It's on the they're going to Beulah Woods and Dawn wonders if Laura Sue would have turned out different if she hadn't been kidnapped. I mean, I guess the fuck not, probably.
Yeah, who knows?
There's Livingston the butler, which I found funny because Livingston, I presume. I don't know why.
Livingston, I presume. Yeah, it's a very butlery name.
By the way, I picture Bronson Alcott looking like Ron Burgundy.
I do now too. Only, yeah, I mean, no offense, Will Ferrell, but like, I wouldn't say he's like a dashingly handsome man.
Like a handsome Ron Burgundy.
Like a Ron Mahogany. I don't know.
Fuck. Did you notice the they're touring Beulah Woods. That's weird. The portrait of Bronson's mother looks familiar, but Dawn can't really place her finger on it.
Yeah, I was
weird.
like,
that's fucking weird.
It's like, oh god damn it, how and who is Bronson related to?
Oh god. They're getting engaged. Dawn reacts pretty normally. She's like, whoa.
Yeah, she's like, it's been 2 fucking months since Randolph died. That is, I mean, gross.
But Laura's just like, I'm persecuted. And she's like, I'm having a normal fucking reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, I have a side eye about it. I think that's okay.
Right? Yeah. And Laura's just like, I won't.
You just hate me. And then Bronson's like, hey, maybe if we give her some more details, she'll chill. And then, I don't know if you noticed this typo, but it said that Randolph escorted her and Jimmy out.
Ooh, I didn't catch that.
Not Livingston. And I was like, who the fuck is in charge of editing this shit? Like, Randolph's ghosts escorts Laura Sue and Jimmy back out to the limo.
I love it. This is some Scooby-Doo ass shit. This is where I got re-engaged. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
Because Bronson is like, let's talk about this. Let's just talk about Laura Sue. I get it.
I like Bronson, by the way.
We love Bronson.
Yeah,
Bronson is a Trisha. He's like pretty even keeled.
Yeah,
and
he's like a real dude.
Yeah,
he doesn't put on airs.
He lives in the gray.
Yeah, but like not too much.
No, he's like, yeah. So he's like trying to talk to Dawn about Laura Sue's upbringing, and Dawn's like, well, fuck her. And Bronson's like, you're being a little fucking bitchy right now. And then I was like, I'm being a little like either reader and being bitchy. We have been historically bitchy about Laura Sue, so I felt delighted.
Checked. I was like, you checked all of us, Bronson.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was like, oh, now I'm back. Now I'm like challenged by this fictional fucking character. Check me, Bronson.
Ooh.
So
check me, Bronson.
So
check me, Bronson.
So Dawn's like, fuck her. She's so conceited. And Bronson's like, all right, fucking, you have no idea how she was raised, and people are the way they are because of the way they were brought up. So can you fucking chill for 2 seconds?
It's nurture as well as nature, my dear.
A lot of rakes in Cutler's Cove, by the way. Mm-hmm. You know who's a rake? Is Grandfather Cutler, whose name I just completely blanked on. Who cares?
Horace. I just made it up. It's not Horace. William.
Nope. William Wallace. So
William Cutler.
Okay. I don't remember it, but I'll buy that.
I'm like 99.9% sure.
Anyway, so Dawn is basically filling this hole of childhood trauma being ignored by her parents. And that she needs to be adored and loved. And Grandmother Cutler hated her from the start. But Mr. Cutler, William, was a rake. And he raked her. So that happened. Laura Sue's got 3 baby daddies. Because, Bronson's Claire Sue's father, by the way. Sorry.
I think we were getting there.
That's the next note. I glazed over all I wrote was a lot of rakes and 3 baby daddies.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So,
sorry, take this one.
God damn it, Kathleen. Okay. Spoiler alert. So, in the last book, we're kind of led to believe that like Laura Sue is super conceited about like being like beautiful and like she was into the money and stuff like that. So like we were led to believe that she was the one doing the seducing of William Cutler. And Nene, he like just fucking busted in on her and busted in
to her. Did a rakins.
And she like flipped out, went to Bronson's house, and then and then Dawn was like, ew, after she got assaulted, she stayed with him. It was like, we talked and I just like held her. She was so sad. And I was like, oh, my heart.
Right. Bronson, the character, continually checks us, the reader, about shitty Laura Sue. And we're like, have we been too fucking hard on Laura Sue? I felt challenged as a reader. Maybe I've been too hard on Laura Sue.
I have been too hard on Laura Sue.
Fantastic.
So yeah, then he explains that like afterwards, like, that it really broke Laura Sue's heart to give Dawn away. Like she did not want to do it at all. And after that, she had told Randolph the truth, which he's sort of like Randolphed over, just like glazed and was like, la, 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 la. And they like hadn't boned since. And so Dawn was like, well, what about, that's the recognition of the painting. Your mom looks like Clara Sue, because you're her dad.
Bronson has a crippled sister.
Had.
Oh,
and that's why Laura Sue and him couldn't get on, because he's like had to take care of his fucking crippled sister. And she was like, you're not getting enough attention to me.
It kind of lightly comes back. I would feel remiss, reader, if I didn't mention it. It's not a major plot point. They circle back to it once or twice.
That is like another way that I was just like, but Laura Sue is kind of shitty though, because she was so selfish. It's a hard
challenge. Checked and challenged.
I just feel like we're really dealing with like more of a complex, fleshed out human in Laura Sue more so than the other ones. Like we're given
interesting,
more details about.
So things. She got 3 baby daddies, just like a Maury Povich guest.
Like a boring Maury Povich guest.
On the way back to the hotel, Dawn, she's like processing. She's like, I have conflicted feelings. That's real life, folks.
Yep.
You will have conflicting feelings about things. And then she's like, Jimmy, shoot a baby into me.
Yep.
And Jimmy comes with the sense, and he's like, whoa, you are busy running a hotel. Whoa. And then she's like, it's for love. Anything for love is for good. Put your penis in me. And he's like, well, all right. At the next point, Philip says he's moving next door. The room's next door, and he's like, we'll be sleeping next to each other. Why?
Because he's a creep. He's a fucking creep.
Dawn barfs once, and we know. Bronson somehow violates HIPAA, and he knows. How? Oh, I don't know. Like they're like word got back. Bronson knew everything in town, and the word got back. Someone violated HIPAA.
Did HIPAA exist in the 1950s?
In the 1812s? No.
In 1384.
Dawn was like, this pregnancy is so different from my last one, but why? Maybe it was no indentured servitude.
But it was weird because she was saying that it was worse than the one at the Meadows. Like, how the fuck? She was like, oh my God. Like, I was just dragging ass and taking naps and everything sucked. I know, but it was just like so, like, it was almost like we, the reader, had not read the book before, knowing that she was doing chores from dawn till dusk and after. She was like, oh, wow, it's really fucking hard being pregnant. And you're like, oh, poor thing. But it's like, what? I don't know, it's weird.
So who...
Also, I'm wondering, I wanted to ask you this question. Because they use this a lot about talking about Laura Sue. She has a thin laugh. What the fuck does a thin laugh sound like?
Well, I think we have, like, we kind of bellow.
What is it like?
You know what? Next time I hear a thin laugh, maybe like verging on hysterical. Not hysterical person. It's like hysterical without the hysteria. Maybe. You like that? I screenshotted this fantastic passage because Clara Sue comes back from the motherfucking Jersey Shore, and her look is everything.
Yeah. Oh, also, Dawn had Clara Sue's shit moved out. She was like, you know what? I decided that, she's Bronson and fucking Laura Sue's kid. She's getting out of this fucking hotel. I hate her.
Yeah.
So she just had all of her shit moved.
She's like, go live with your real parents. Eat my asshole.
Yep. And she just casually mentions it to Laura Sue on the phone one time.
Yeah.
Like she called from her honeymoon. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, I had Clara Sue's shit sent there. And she was like, yeah, okay.
Apparently, from what I gathered in the first few seconds of my confrontation with her, Mother had not told her I had her things moved to Beulah Woods. I sincerely wondered if Mother had spoken with her more than once or twice the entire summer. So, here's Clara Sue. Spending her entire summer laying on a beach, eating and partying with friends, Clara Sue had added more pounds to her voluptuous figure. Sexy puddin'. She looked 10 pounds heavier than the last time I'd seen her. She was wearing a clingy violet silk dress that fit her like a second skin and showed a great deal of her cleavage. She'd permed her long blonde hair and wore heavy mascara and ruby-red lipstick. I thought she looked extremely trashy, but Clara Sue probably didn't care a bit about my opinion. She was darkly tanned, and her cold blue eyes were hard and sharp, sending daggers my way. I am into her look. Into it. She is described. She's like, looks like a drag queen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Love it. But
like with a thirsty wig.
Crispy and thirsty. Yeah, I picture a very crispy blonde perm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's. Mm-hmm. Oops, Clara Sue does a beating.
Yeah, she comes in. She's wicked pissed that Dawn moved her stuff out, and just starts fucking punching her in the face, throwing her through vanity tables, all this shit. She rage aborts Dawn's baby. She kicks her quite a bit.
Oopsie, didn't know she was pregnant. And gives her a little abortion.
Yep. Rage abort.
Rage aborts. And they should 100 press charges.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's fine, it's fucking whatever. Like, it was an accident. Sure. She didn't know that Dawn was pregnant, but that's still assault.
Yeah, it's still assault, and she's fucking crazy.
Yes. So they should definitely press charges, but no one does.
Don't.
Dawn has a trauma due to her miscarriage, and everyone's like prodding her to just get over it.
Yeah. It's gonna take a minute, but then it does kind of seem like, I don't know. Like, Jimmy finally comes in, he's like, you need to snap out of it. Like,
he shares her. Snap out of it!
Snap out of it!
I don't have that yet. Mm-hmm. I have that we meet Philip's fiance, who is a DUD dude.
Betty Ann.
Betty Sue?
Betty Ann. So, this blew my mind when I read this. Dawn notes that Betty Ann pronounces Dawn's name like Dawn. How the fuck is it different? Like, okay, so like Dawn, her name is spelled D-A-W-N, but she notes that Betty Ann pronounces her name Dawn, D-O-N.
Dawn.
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 How the fuck?
Dawn.
Okay, hold up. We live in the Northeast. If you live in any other part of the country, please record yourself saying this name, D-A-W-N, so we can know.
And then D-O-N.
Dawn. Do you say the W?
Do you say the W?
Dawn.
Down.
Do you say it Southern?
Dawn. Yeah, like, please record, like, a video, send it to our Instagram.
Do something.
These Pieces podcast. Like, I was with my friend Lissy after I read this, or like right around the same time, and we speculated. They were Googling for me,
pronunciation.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the fuck does that mean? But they had the mistake of saying, like, Dawn pronunciation, Twilight's Child, and everything was like Renesmee from Twilight. New Moon.
No.
Or Breaking Dawn. So he couldn't get there. Dawn.
Dawn. So she's a fucking dud. She's very plain.
Dawn.
She's very plain.
Dawn.
Do you know what she is?
Dawn.
She is a canvas for who?
Dawn.
Blank canvas.
Blech for Philip. Yeah.
She's like, oh fuck, he's just picturing me. It's so fucking gross.
Yep.
It's so fucking gross. Because she was like, oh yeah, like, what's your favorite perfume? And I'm going to wear your 90s or some shit.
That was, I don't know. She was just talking about, like, oh, it's so wonderful that you and Philip are so close. He talks about you all the time. And, like, is too DUD dud to realize that he's, like, fucking boning out for her so hard. Just, like, just straining against the cloth of any sort of pants he's wearing to try to get the dick at Dawn. Ripping through them zippers and seams.
Clara Sue hooks up with an older DILF.
Yeah, and they like note that her male friend has an abundant mouth and a sharply clipped jaw. What the fuck does that mean?
Like real big DSLs and like a tiny chin.
I don't know. Like,
Sir, I can't picture this in my head.
Who describes someone's mouth as abundant?
Abundant, meaning a lot of. He's got a lot of mouth on that fucking guy.
Sharply clipped jaw. Like, it's just, like, goes from, like, lower lip back. Like,
is he like a Family Guy character?
Like a Simpsons character.
Yes.
Yeah. Just, I don't...
So
I don't know.
It's noted during the planning of Philip's wedding to Betty Sue, that Betty Sue and her mother have
Betty Ann.
I wrote Betty Sue. So
it's Betty Ann, I promise.
It's fine. They have unshiny hair. FYI.
Yep. So that you know they're
gross.
Trash.
Let's see. Clara Sue and her male friend. I have another screenshot. This is Philip's graduation.
Ooh. Oh.
Philip doesn't graduate. Yep. I think it's more of like her look, which I was just delighted by. It's so bananas.
It's a lot.
Clara Sue and her male friend were coming down the center aisle, Clara Sue giggling at the disruption she was causing. She held her older man's hand and charged ahead, looking as though she were dragging him to the seat. But it wasn't what shocked everyone. It was what she was wearing, a short, tight black leather miniskirt and flimsy white silk off-shoulder blouse that revealed more than just the top of her full bosom. In fact, as she bounced down the aisle in her spiked heels, it looked as if her breasts might pop up out of the garment at any moment. Her hair was still permed, but fluffed out in a wild mane. She wore pounds of makeup, heavy blue eyeliner, a deep red lipstick, and layers of rouge. Her long gold leaf earrings dangled and swung as she pranced, deliberately turning every which way to smile at the gawking men. 2 full paragraphs. 2 full fucking paragraphs to describe how trashy Clara Sue looks. That's the content I'm here for.
You are.
I am.
I read that knowing that you were going to be like,
yes.
You love a leather miniskirt on a VC Andrews character.
Any trash hole of a human I'm into.
Yeah. You do get straight into people's trash holes.
I'm leaving you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So Philip is totally like single white femaling Betty Ann, like 1,000%. Like at their wedding, Betty Ann comes out to walk down the aisle. Guess what? Had her hair dyed blonde. Like, it's crazy. And then so Dawn's like,
blonde
hey,
Ann.
what the fuck's up with that? Your hair is
fucking blonde.
Different now. And she's like, Philip's been asking me to do it forever for whatever reason. And like,
oh. Did you notice when they went the house that Jimmy is building / overseeing being built is always in various states of readiness. There's always tours people are wandering over. Philip, shocking nobody, is like V creepy at the house. Mm-hmm. And he's like, where's your bedroom going to be? Were you sleeping? And Dawn has like fucking PTSD nightmares. She has fucking nightmares about it.
He's like, which side does Dawn sleep on? Which side do you sleep on?
And then he was like, I definitely don't have my ear pressed against your door.
Yeah. He was like, you just get used to some sounds. Like, what the actual... No. And then they leave on their honeymoon. They deliberately... Philip books the same hotel at Cape Cod that Jimmy and Dawn were at. And then Dawn runs into Miss Boston, the housekeeper, and she was like, oh, I gave...
Just to let you know, I finished that task.
Yeah, I gave Philip that thing you told me. And she's like, what the fuck do you mean? She's like, the nightgown.
And your perfume.
And your perfume that he said you were supposed to give
permission
to him for his honeymoon? Yeah. And she was just like, oh my fucking cringe, God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, so like he made his new wife wear one of Dawn's nightgowns and wear
just
her
fucking
perfume.
hosed her down with Dawn's perfume. And
That's a fucking Tatterton move.
Closed his eyes and humped away.
Tatterton.
He tattertoned her.
Ugh.
Gave her the old tatterton.
He gave her the tatter tender.
Oh, borf.
Woof.
So, yes, he definitely is cool and does an imaginary rape. So, that happens, and we do like a little passage of time where, again, Dawn's being like learning how to be a business lady, and she's like, I had the brilliant idea to advertise. Mm-hmm. And they're like, but we always do word of mouth. And she's like, what about print advertisement?
Now that it's 1942.
That's her. They're like, oh my God, I don't know about this.
Like, now that it's 1806, we should use those newfangled photographers.
Mrs. Cutler always wanted word of mouth. And she's like, what about an advertisement? Because our clientele's fucking dying.
Yeah, they're all fucking old, and this place is
That's
dope.
it. That's her idea. Take out an ad. And they're like, I don't know. This is a bit crazy. Take out an ad. Business lady. The next thing I have is Clara Sue does a kidnap.
Is that before or after Jimmy goes to visit Daddy Longchamp?
Before.
Cool. Let's talk about that.
So Clara Sue does a kidnap, and no charges are pressed again.
Yeah, Miss Boston was like, hey, so it felt kind of weird, but I let
Skip.
Clara Sue and Skipper take...
His name's Skip, not Skipper.
Whatever.
Don't he's
Skip
not
it.
juvenile.
Skip it.
Skip. He's a trucker.
Take
Christy with a
take
CH and an IE.
Tristy because
Shit.
that's what you
wanted.
said, right?
Like, she had permission to go for a ride in the big truck.
And John's like, the fuck?
Semi-props to Mrs. Boston, who called immediately.
Semi-props.
Semi-props.
Because she should know at this point that fucking
Clara Sue
Dawn
has
and
no
Clara Sue
permissions.
hate each other.
Yeah. She's like, that seemed a little fucking weird, so I decided to call right after they left. Mm-hmm. So it's like a little light kidnapping.
Yeah, it was like some hours. The police were called, but no charges. Like, they were just like at a diner or some shit.
So yeah, they find her and blah, blah, blah. There's a blow up. Gives a fuck. Meanwhile, Philip and Betty Ann. Mm-hmm. Betty Ann.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I wrote Betty Sue once.
Because everyone's Sue.
I continually wrote Betty Sue and then I changed it to Betty Ann. Okay. So Philip and Betty Ann have twins. Any features they inherit from her are described as like Betty Ann's, but more lively. Fuck.
And Philip's like, you know, I'm glad I had 2 kids. So I can pretend one of them's ours.
Great.
And Dawn's like, why? Stop
Philip
talking to me.
continues to be gross.
Fucking
And he
stop
says,
talking
he
to
says, he like hisses at Dawn. And he's like, oh, you would have gotten pregnant now if you were using me to sperm in you. To sperm in you.
To sperm at you.
I'm sure he does it at her continually, not inside of her. John and Jimmy part very dramatically when he goes to see Daddy.
I know, it's stupid.
Like, come on, picky.
She's like, there's a crack in the veneer of our marriage. Why?
Can no one take a weekend away?
Yeah, he's just like, I wish you would go with me. And she's like, I'm not ready. And he was like, all right. And then she was like, I get what's ending.
It was extremely dramatic. They need to be up each other's assholes 24/7.
Yeah. Because they used to think they were related.
So during this time, Dawn is donning at her desk, being business lady. And Betty Sue is like, hey, man. Betty Ann is like, can I talk to you about my marriage? Because sometimes Philip just wanders. And where do he wander to?
He goes into Dawn's old suite which is Grandmother Cutler's old suite. And
If you're keeping track at home.
But Betty Ann doesn't know that. She just like says that he goes and sleeps somewhere else. But fucking Dawn knows immediately.
But fucking.
Yes. So she like scurries up the stairs, opens the door, and like, oh, cool.
Her nightgown is laid out.
Nightgowns is laid out. Her perfume sprayed on the pillow. And it's like a spot next to it where like Philip fucking sleeps next to her nightgown. Yeah. But Dawn was like, hey, maybe just have a conversation real quick and be like,
talk to your
hey,
spouse.
what's up?
But then what happens? He's drunkenly at Dawn's house when she's all alone in her dressing gown.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Doing the same sort of like, I had some drinks, I just want to talk. And she's like, you need to get the fuck out.
And he's like, what if I definitely tried to rape you again?
He's like, oh my God, don't worry. I'll give you a baby. We can
I'll give you a baby. And if it's blonde like Christy, no one will
even know.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only... It was, again, another protracted, pretty graphic, because she's like, I tried to fight him. He was much physically stronger than me. And it was only because Christy was like, hello, like the child.
Yeah, came downstairs and was just like, hey, what's going on in here, adults? That he got off of. Like, I was like, because it was like...
It's happening.
It was like a centimeter away from happening. She was like, I realized I couldn't do anything. And then it was just like...
Child.
Hey, Uncle Philip, why are you acting weird?
You're silly. Dawn's like, yeah, he's silly. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I straightened my robe.
Ugh.
Yeah. That happens. Jimmy calls from Texas with what kind of news?
He's like, hey, secretly, me and Dad have been paying off this guy that he went to jail with.
Convenient private investigator.
Yep. Because Dawn had been having Updike.
Yes, subplot 27.
Yeah. They've been still looking for Fern this whole time.
Quote unquote, except Mr. Updike's like, it's fucking closed.
Yeah, he's like, it's closed. It's probably kind of legal, honestly.
Leave it the fuck alone.
And then she's like, oh god. So she just like didn't tell Jimmy that they stopped looking. Or no, she did before he left to see Daddy Longchamp.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons.
But he was always like, oh, how's that going? And she's like, it's going. But she had to confess that she was like, you know what? He's a fucking lawyer, man. And he was like, this is not going to happen in a legal fashion. And he's like, you fucking tell me. So like they did end on a bad note.
Yeah, but it wasn't as dramatic as...
But also, communicate with your spouse.
Communicate with your spouse.
Or anyone.
Your people.
Anyone.
Communicate.
Just live an honest life.
Anyway, live a communicative life. So anyways, he's
I lost my spot. Philip almost does a rape-ins. Okay, let's see.
So Jimmy calls and he's like, hey, oh my God, Dad's great, but guess what?
That's right.
Our secret private investigator that's somehow better than other people because he was in jail for investigating privately.
He was in jail. He knows how to investigate.
Yep. We found Fern. Oh!
Her name is now Kelly Osbourne, but not that Kelly Osbourne.
Hilarious. I did Google. I was like, oh my God, is Kelly Osbourne's middle name Ann too? It's not. It's like Kelly Elizabeth Jean or something like that.
So that's fun. She lives in New York. Did you, so they make he like calls up the adoptive. So again, much like Heaven, Jimmy's like, well, it's my right. I'm just going to call up. And it's like, brother, there are legal documents.
But he's just got like hair across his ass and he's like, hello, Mr. Adoptive Father.
Mr. Osborne.
Hello, Mr. Osborne.
Ozzy?
Hello, Oswald.
Clayton Osborne.
It's like, here's who I am. I need to see my sister. And he's just like pissed and he's like, and then Jimmy's like, okay, this guy sounded hoity-toity, but he said we could show up like as pretending like we're old friends. And
yeah, it's one of those old school closed adoptions.
Yep. And just we'll see her and then we'll leave.
You can look at her. Did you note that? Yep. Yep.
I don't know why this happens. Also, okay, so Fern is supposed to be like 10. That doesn't fucking track.
Oh, no, it doesn't at all.
No, it doesn't. Her and Christy should be like a year apart. Maybe 2. Yeah. They did it again. They fucking did it again.
Oh my
you think
God,
I'm not going to notice?
I'm so scared.
I'm not going to notice? I'm going to fucking notice.
I'm so scared of you right now. So Fern's only 10, but she's developing a figure.
Yeah.
It was notated in the record of time. She's developing a figure.
Yeah, but she also should be like 7.
She should also be 7, but she is 10, which is the closest you can be to sex, I guess, in a VC book.
I don't.
They keep nudging it back.
I know.
Yeah,
because
they keep nudging it back. Because it was 14, giggle, 12-ish, giggle, 11, Fanny, giggle, now 10. So, it's noted, now I'm screaming, Fern is only 10, this is, I'm air quoting, only 10, but developing a figure. So she has little titties, so that means she can be sexual in the VC universe.
I hate that. Not my favorite trope. I'd even go as far to say it's my least favorite trope.
Okay, so what do we know about her adoptive parents?
Norman Oswald. What is his name?
Clayton.
Clayton's just kind of like a stuffy bastard. He's a lawyer or something. Not a lawyer, but
Like a rich guy.
businessman.
Like a rich guy, stockbroken man.
Yeah.
And his wife is an artist whose name I blanked. I didn't even know. Leslie.
Leslie Osborne is an artist.
The end.
Yeah, they just like have a conversation. Fern / Kellyanne comes down and like is kind of broody and is just like being like, who are you though? Let me ask questions. And then
Oh, she got suspended again.
I guess she's terrible at school, etc., etc. They end up leaving and going back to their hotel. And then they're talking about the situation. And they're like,
They're just gonna have dinner. But then what happens? Knock, knock, knock.
it's Fern at the door. And she's like, I know who you are. You're my brother. I found my adoption paperwork.
She was like, I don't snoop. Very offended, but I did go through their papers.
Yeah.
It was very like, I don't snoop. I did rifle through all their documents.
Yeah.
Is that not the
She wasn't snooping. She was just checking.
just reading? Because I was bored. She say Clayton do a bad touch bath time.
Yep. And like, I'm getting a vibe almost immediately like she's making shit up about her.
Why would you have that vibe?
I don't know. Maybe because when they go to confront
Clayton,
he's like, what? And it didn't seem like, what? But it was like, what? And also Leslie was like, what? Because Fern had told them, them being Dawn and Jimmy, that Leslie was like so like caught up
So
in her
busy.
work that she like didn't come home a lot of the times and forgot her birthdays and stuff. And then Leslie was like, what the freak?
Clayton helps me with my bath, and he does a bad touch.
And then Clayton's like, oh, okay, actually, you know what? You fucking take her. And then you'll find out
bullshit.
that she's nasty and conniving and horrible. So
Peace
good
out.
fucking luck. Do not try to give her back.
Which is also a big kind of yikes statement.
I mean, it is, but... And then Fern's like skipping around being like, what's the hotel going to be like? Can I have new stuff? Am I the boss? Are you the boss of me? Am I the boss of people?
So, Fern goes to live at the hotel, and what's that all about, friend?
Oh, I have like a broke out right here. What is that? What is happening? Ooh. I have a rash. I have a mystery rash, dear listener.
Can we get back to the book?
Yeah.
Tell us about Fern coming to the hotel.
Well, something that I did not like as a sentence was before they even got back, they were talking about how like affectionate Fern is with Jimmy. And quote, normally having a precocious 10-year-old throw her arms around him in public and kiss him in public would embarrass him. Normally when Jimmy's getting hugged and kissed by 10-year-olds.
In the normal course of the day.
Yeah, just normally. Anyways, so she shows up and she's like, oh my God. But she's like nasty and weird and...
She do be like that.
Yeah. She wants to like work the front desk, but she's like, yeah, but like you're the boss of the front lady, right? And Dawn's like, yeah, but I mean she's been here longer than I am, and she's
I
like,
have to trust my staff.
Like I'm good, and she's like, yeah, but like you are like I thought you were the boss of everyone. She's like, I am, but like they're autonomous. Like
anyone who raises like an eyebrow at Fern, she's like, I was abused.
yes,
Immediate
Yep.
like.
yeah. She's like, oh, do we have a maid? And they're like, yeah, well, Miss Boston,
We
like,
don't treat her like shit.
yeah, like she lives with us and does like cooking and stuff, but she's not like she's not a slave.
Clean your fucking room.
Yeah, like she's not there to like pick up after you. Like she's there to be a cool lady who we love.
Yeah. So Fern is immediately like a little bit fucking fucked.
And Jimmy's just like so steadfast, like, no, we have to believe things. And then Dawn's like, I'm just catching some looks from her.
Dawn's pretty cynical towards Jimmy's feelings regarding the Fern situation.
Yeah, because she's like, I get that we should be gentle, but I feel like she's kind of fucking us.
She's like, I feel like Jimmy is really overlooking a lot of weird fucking shit. So Jimmy's like, she's been abused for years. And Dawn's like, well, we need like to involve like some professional help.
Yeah.
A psychologist, a psychiatrist. And he's like, well, nuh-uh. Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, cool, I get it. Like, she should work through this so that way it doesn't like, she doesn't carry it into her adulthood.
And he's like, she's fine. She needs to just live with a loving family.
Yeah, he's like extra weirdly protective.
He's extra weirdly protective of his questionably aged sister. So Fern is 10 and ripping butts with the busboys. It is noted by the head busboy, Robert Garwood.
I know. Any relation to Arthur?
Thank you.
Nope. They just threw that name in there, and I was like, what? Yeah.
Anyway, this child is ripping butts with the busboys.
Sure is. Because the front house lady, the reception lady, she comes to Dawn like crying. She's like, "There's fucking $300 missing. I don't know." Like,
off. I know everyone here except one.
And Dawn's just like, yeah, well, I figured it's probably fucking Fern because like this lady never makes mistakes. And then she just asks Fern like, hey, so like, do you maybe know what happened? And then she like flips out and cries at Jimmy that like, Dawn screamed at me and she said I stole. Ow. I got swamped.
So, yeah. So then she's like, I just want to work at the busboys. And Dawn's like, fine, let me check on this. And then the Robert Garwood, head of the busboys, is like, I don't know, man. She kind of is a little bit of a shit sack. Sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Like, she's kind of like ripping butts and like.
She's only 10. Like, that's a little fucking weird.
I feel like she's kind of like flirting.
It's like, I think he was like, I have a sister or like a niece that age, and
she's
that's a little fucking weird. And Dawn's like, thank you for the information. Can you just deal with it?
She was like, yeah, like, especially since you said that, can you please have her do that and just let me know how the fuck she's being weird?
They have a big, Laura Sue invites everyone for dinner, and it's notated that Fern wears a dress more for her girl in her teens. But it's got a floppy lace collar and a big old bow.
But also, she like convinced Dawn to buy her like a padded bra so that she had more boobies.
I know, it's an interesting look.
Yeah.
Niederman. Clara Sue trucks around. She trucks around, FYI. Later on, Fern wants to go to a dance. And with a high school boy.
She was like, I'm in middle school, which like 10 you're in middle school?
Stop it.
Okay, weird.
I wrote down this for you.
Oh.
She's 10 and a half. And she's like, I'm already in the 6th grade.
What? Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
That's not how grades work.
It's not how grades work. Unless
Bye.
No. Unless they started with first grade and no one had kindergarten back in 1614.
That's it. And then, so she's like, can I dance? And then, I don't know who, I think it was Dawn who was like, who fuck asked you to a dance?
Yeah, who asked you to a dance?
She's like, he's like a junior or senior.
She's like, he's in high school. And they're like, whoa. Like, you said, and she's like, middle school, high school is the same dance. And then they said that he was a junior, and they were like, ah.
So if you know of real ages, that could be about 17.
Yeah.
And she's 10 and a half.
Yep. That's disgusting.
FYI.
And they're like, hey, so maybe he asked you because he thinks maybe... Things?
And she's like, you just never want me to have fun. Ring, 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 ring goes the who calls. It's Michael Sutton. Bam, bam. And Dawn thinks it's a fucking awesome idea to go see him.
She doesn't think it's an awesome idea, but like, she's like, okay, I knew what it was like not knowing my family. Like, fine, I'll let him see Trishti one time.
With an IE.
I'll let him see it one time.
It's so sad that he doesn't know his daughter's name.
Yeah, like, she's like, all right. Yeah, I heard he went through some hard times. I don't want to be part of her life, but like, I feel he at least deserves to see her one time.
Fuck, dude, though. Michael's hair is dull.
Oh, his hair's dull. We know what that means.
Yeah, hard times.
Hard times. Piece of shit now.
He's a piece of shit now.
Literally a
with
piece of
dull
shit,
ass
yeah.
hair.
Dull ass shit.
Dull
hair.
shit. Get some fucking conditioner, you piece of shit. Little fucking little size of a dime. Little Pantene Pro V up in that shit. Asshole.
So he was like
Scum.
wearing like a seedy businessman coat too or something.
He went to the trope store and put on the I am down on my luck, like patchy coat and like unironed pants. Doled up his hair. Bathed in alcohol.
Yep.
And there he is.
Showed up with a suitcase of snake oil. So they
Didn't he lay some line on her?
He was like, I was already married and I was planning on divorcing her, but then I found out her liver was ejaculating death and I had to go back to London and she died. And then I came back looking for you, but you were already gone.
Came back looking for you.
We're gone.
You were gone. And she was like, I was gone. I was gone. Could this be true? No!
And then she's like, I gotta go. And then he's like, oh, by the way, that reminds me, I need $5,000.
I need some fucking money, bitch.
And she was like, excuse me? Oh, also, pinky ring and locket were mentioned within 2 pages.
The only pieces of jewelry that exist?
Yep. Because Michael gives Christy a locket.
Tristy.
We're being told that she's like so precocious and like very interested and like
Things.
asks a lot of questions. This bitch don't say shit during this whole lunch, really. While they're talking about how she's their daughter, she's not like, excuse me, what? Like, down in front.
She came back from kindergarten school.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yep. And then Michael calls her and he's like, you don't want Jimmy to know that we met at a hotel. So what I
And that
love
we
about
have been meeting secretly. And
what
she's
I
like, ugh.
and he's like, I don't fucking care. Any publicity is good publicity. I don't give a shit. I will take you down just to get my name back in the paper. So eat my asshole. What I love about Dawn is that she just calls the lawyer and is like, hey, I'm getting blackmailed.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, let's
Immediately,
do it.
she was like, what am I going to do? She's like, you know what? Fuck that bitch, Grandmother Cutler, but you know what? She wouldn't let some guy run her around. I'm going to just fucking take care of this shit right now. It was great.
She really has all the strength now that he's ugly, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
She was like, I was worried about being swooned. Oh, you're ugly? Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. No money, no pussy.
No looky goody. No puss.
That was eloquent.
Thank you.
Yep.
We got there. Embroider on a pillow. I don't know. They do like a recording of him trying to extort.
Yeah, they were like, okay, there's probably going to be some bullshit if we take this to court. Like, it's going to be gnarly, but in lieu of court, meet him again. We'll record him doing a blackmail, and then he can't fucking do shit. And she's like, all right. And then they do.
They do that. The end.
Yep.
Clara Sue meets a Cutler's. Clara Sue Cutler meets a trucker's end.
Yep, she does. She do.
She do get slammed by a trucker, but not in that way.
I mean, she do.
Probably often.
But that she got
In her badge and
jackknifed, and then the cab just got crushed. I didn't realize until like 2 pages later because like Clara Sue was in an accident, and then it was just like, oh no, she was like crushed to death, and it took them hours to cut her and her boyfriend out. Oh well.
Way to bury the lead.
Yep. All right.
So she did.
Laura Sue kind of really loses it.
A little bit. Dawn is, I believe Bronson says, you're the strength of the family.
Yep.
I was very interested in this idea that, and she was like, oh shit, like I look like business lady. I'm very interested in this idea of her being afraid that she's becoming Grandmother Cutler. And is she? And what is the perspective from a young child to a woman?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That makes me more interested to read the prequel.
Interesting.
Was Lillian a Dawn type of just young lady,
Oh, yeah.
and then had to become business lady?
Yeah.
Because Dawn goes on about being business lady, and she's like, fuck, I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm wearing a cotton blouse and slacks.
Ugh.
Nary a spot of makeup. Because...
I'm so practical. Ew.
Right, yes, that's it.
It's like my hair has been combed back severely.
Exactly. Like, She is becoming business, and young Dawn would have been like, ew, put on a lipstick.
Yep.
So this makes me interested, FYI. Okay. So she's the strength of the family. Fern is confronted with being a bad seed.
Yeah, so like there was a moment where Dawn was like walking by Fern's room and like heard Fern and Christy playing, and she was like, "Oh, cute." But then like Fern's being like, "You know what the difference between boys and girls are, right?" And then being like, "You just nodded, but I can tell you don't mean it." And then Dawn goes like, "Hey, how's it going in here?" And then she's like, "How dare you spy on me? I was abused." And then also Daddy Longchamp and Edwina come with Gavin.
For a visit, yep.
And Dawn's walking by the room.
Yeah, they're about the same age, Gavin and Christy. Shristi,
yeah, maybe he's a little
bit
older.
We gotta cut that shit out for the next one, because I'm not calling her Shristi.
I'm gonna call her Shristi.
Okay.
However long I want. Let me process this on my own time.
Now.
Thank you.
Get over this.
Thank you. No. So while Gavin was visiting, Dawn comes home from a long day at the hotel. And she's like, "Oh, Mrs. Boston, sorry I left you with the kids all day." And she was like, "Oh, I forgot they were here." And she was like, And like scuttles up and hears Fern say, like, "You can touch it, Tristy. It's not going to bite." And so she just like was just like, "Oh, hi. What's going on in here?" And like these two like 5-year-olds are just stark naked staring at each other. And then Fern was just like, "Oh my God, they did it themselves." Like,
these children are like,
yeah, just crying. So Dawn keeps being like, "Can you fucking not? Like, I get stuff happened to you and that's horrible, but
this is not okay.
This is not okay." And then for whatever...
I don't remember what spawned her kind of poking around in Fern's room.
I think she kept hearing from like the principal and stuff that she wasn't doing her homework and
she was like, "Oh, her fucking room's a mess. Oh,
yeah,
God,
she was just like
bullshit.
getting like bad vibes. I think maybe she went in to talk to her about her bad grades and she wasn't there. I think that's what it was.
Oh, Fern reads whatever the fuck are romance magazines.
So she notices one that happens to be underlined on her bed with all these underlines. About the story of it was the headline was my stepfather raped me and
in the bathroom
and nobody knew,
and he touched me in the bath and my mother forgot our birthdays, and it's literally everything that Fern said happened to her. She lifted.
Yep.
And what was great about Jim Jam is he 100 was like, all right.
He was like, "Oh shit."
He's like, "Are we sending her back? I don't give a fuck anymore. You're right. You're right, Dawn. You make the call."
Yep. He was like, this is fucked. Yeah, she fucking played us. That's gross. That's grimy. No.
Gross.
And so they confront her and she was like, "I just hated it there, blah, blah, blah." And they're like,
which they don't spend much time on. Yeah. That is bull fucking shit.
Yeah. And they're like, "You can't fucking just like accuse someone of molesting you." And she's like, "Yeah, but he was kind of a dick." And
yeah,
like,
but I didn't
know.
like it.
No, that's not what you do.
I just feel like, what was the reason for Fern to be an asshole?
I don't know. Like they just needed like another Fanny type character.
True.
That's what it felt like. Like
yes, because if you're typing notes into your notes app and you write F and it's like, "Do you want Fanny?" It's like, "Do I?"
I do want Fanny. Not Fanny, the character. Anyways.
Do you remember when we talked about Cutler 1 and you were like, "Oh, the baby's going to have trauma." Is it trauma from like secret adoption?
I don't know.
Or are people born bad?
That's the thing. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Because,
sure doesn't.
Because like she was adopted. Like no, I was saying like it was probably traumatic for a baby for the first couple of days, not knowing who people were, like being like, "Ugh, where's my house?"
I'm the fucking baby.
But like I don't know.
Clayton
Oswald like seemed like Osborne, whatever. Just seemed like a guy who was kind of stuffy. Leslie was kind of a little bit of a flake, but like they like took her to like Europe and like 2 Caribbean vacations in the winter and like just lavished like the best things on her. And I don't know, like there wasn't.
So she was born bad.
But you know, in the Castiles, they were like, "Oh, like a bunch of Luke's brothers were bad," and like there was like a bad seed running through there. But they don't note that with any of the like the Longchamps.
What about Uncle Reuben?
Yeah, right. Okay, so she takes after
Okay,
Uncle Reuben.
fine.
Mentioned one half of a time.
That's the thing. Like, is this
The fan.
Are people born bad? The end. Think about it, listener. Submit your answer in essay form. Are people born bad? Use references from any VC book we've talked about.
And then email it to vcpiecespodcast@gmail.com.
You will be graded.
I will give you a prize. Yet to be determined.
I mean, in the VC universe, I think they're saying people are born good, born bad. This is your lot in life. There's no growth. There's no growth mindset.
I know, but then they try to talk about, like, curses aren't real, but they are. Like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Right. There you go.
It bummed me out. It really bummed me out that Fern was such a shit.
So...
And she, like, starts doing good again. Like, she just, like, good and bad constantly.
Fuck her.
Also, when Gavin was visiting, too, like, they very clearly were, like, laying down, like, that Gavin and Tristy were going to be in love later.
Nope.
100%. They're totally laying that down because it was like, oh, Gavin clapped hardest of all after Tristy did her piano lesson, and, like, he just gazed at her with all the eyes.
Laura Sue, I think she loses it when Clara Sue dies, and is just kind of constantly re-traumatized in her mind.
It's really sad.
She takes to her bed for real this time.
She does mention, too, like, they're taking away another one.
It was a little weird.
That about? Yeah, like, does she have another kid we didn't know about? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
But poor Brownson is now saddled with another invalid, it's noted.
But what a good guy.
Good guy. But no inpatient treatment. Because, again, Don's like, hey, this is maybe a little bit more than you should do. And he's like, nope. Okay.
But it would be embarrassing.
So Luther calls.
Luther calls.
He just wants to he asks to speak to Lillian, and then it's like, well, fuck, whoever's in charge. And Miss Emily died. Yep. And what's great is that Don's like, well, how did she die? And Luther goes, her heart ran out.
Yep.
Love it. How did she die? She stopped living.
Yep.
Done.
Amazing. And then they get there because, like, Philip's like, I don't really care to be part of this.
So I don't remember.
I don't know who she is. And then she's like, I'm going to make sure this bitch is getting buried in the fucking ground. Well, she was also like, did you call an undertaker? And he was like,
why?
Why? She's dead. And he's just like, you have to fucking call a doctor still.
There has to be like a document filled out.
He's like, nah, I don't know.
Why? Because she's fucking dead.
He's like, all right, if you want to waste good money.
I just love that, like, how did she die? She fucking stopped living. All right.
And she's like, we gotta get a coffin. He's like, I built one years ago.
I'm just waiting.
He's like, I've had a coffin waiting for this bitch.
He's like singing and digging a hole and slamming the coffin in.
Funny. So yeah, her and Jimmy show up and they basically bury this bitch within like a
hot second.
Yeah, like a hot second moment.
And
he's like, Luther just like whistling, filling in the grave, like.
So there's that. So okay, so Luther and Jimmy go to take care of the body in the coffin, and Miss Charlotte goes to make the mint tea. And,
oh, she's so cute.
And Dawn goes to rifle through the office. Mm-hmm. And Luther comes by, and she's like, Luther, like, we're gonna talk. Like, talk to me, Luther.
Yeah, what the fuck actually is going on in this place?
And what do we learn?
We learn that
Lillian
is
did a birth
Charlotte's
mother.
And who was Charlotte's father?
Lillian's father. Because he was a rake.
A rake.
He did a rakins.
Well, because Dawn was like, oh, so Charlotte isn't Lillian's sister? And he was like, well, she's that too. And Luther is just living for this.
He's like, oh, fuck yeah.
He's like,
he's got the biggest fucking teapot, and he's ready to spill the tea. He's like, yeah.
He was like, I guess you could say they are also sisters. And Dawn's like horrified. She's like, you mean? He was like, yeah, fucking, I don't know, everyone in this house sucks. He's like, but also, Charlotte's awesome, and she's being treated like way stupider than she is. I feel like Charlotte would have had a different outcome. I feel like she got dumbed to. Like, maybe she's got some...
But also, so he's like, they fucking were shit-ass to her and wouldn't feed her, and I would feed her.
Yeah.
And they would talk shit to her, and I would talk nice to her. And Dawn's like, I could see that Luther loved her in his own way. That's the way you love people. is you treat them with kindness and respect. Like, that's not just Luther's way. That's everyone's way.
I know, and then it's like kind of because you're like, did he take advantage of her, or like
With her intellectual disability.
Yeah, but like how much of that is real and how much of that was like imposed on her? Yeah, that was man, that hurt me.
Questions. See, now don't you want to read the prequel?
I guess, but this book took so long for me to get interested in.
It wasn't okay. Yeah. So the last thing. Okay. So yeah. So yes, dear reader, it took a bit, and it wasn't until page 130, 40 something when Bronson comes in and starts challenging us about that, and then all the shitty siblings come back in.
It wasn't even. For me, it was like once Fern showed back up, I started picking.
Oh,
yeah, it was way later. Because I was just assuming, like, as soon as I was like, okay, there's a portrait of someone that someone looks like someone, Brahman's gonna relate to someone, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't expect was Fern to be a fucking shitbag.
I
Which I should have been ready for.
Midnight Whispers is one of the ones I had as a kid, so I knew that was coming. Kept it from you for you.
Thank you.
It's it was like when Philip started being shitty again and Clara Sue was being shitty that I took more interest. Now to wrap it up, dear listener, passage of time. Dawn can only conceive. By the way, now that her time at the Meadows has been put to rest.
Yeah, they keep talking about how, like, her and Jimmy have been humping and humping and humping.
They've been humping so hard.
For that extra baby, and the doctor's like, everything's fine, your brain's broke, girl. And she's like, well, that sucks. And then, like...
to put it succinctly.
Yeah, but then immediately, like, after Miss Emily dies, she gets knocked up.
Spur me
And then
dead.
she's like, OMG, Jimmy, you're gonna be a father.
The end of book.
Yeah, was that?
That was pretty much
much
that
it.
was pretty much the end.
Yep.
I mean, is there? So I want to say that now that we're 3 deep, 3 families deep, 3 fingers deep, 3 families deep. Something happening twice is just a one-off, but if it happens 3 times, it's a pattern.
Okay.
So the question is there a dud in every family series?
Like, as far as the book goes?
Yes. Like, If There Be Jorns was like a pretty much fucking dud.
I didn't, no, but that, I liked that one. You didn't like that one. I liked that one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Was there a dud in Dollenganger for you?
No, I don't think so. Kind of, the one before the prequel, whatever the frick that one was. Maybe? No, I don't know. I think
no
that
dud.
one was pretty
dud.
pretty solid.
All right. Was the dud in Castile Annie's story?
No, Castile.
Was
for
there
me,
a dud in Castile? Maybe not.
I didn't like the last book. I didn't like the prequel because it was just like more Tatterton tip touches, and I was so over hearing about like the. I like a variety of creepy dudes, not just one.
Mix it up. I'm sick of Philip.
Yeah. Yes.
Spoiler alert.
There's no way. I mean, I started the next one. I read the inside flap. Yeah, there's no, anyways. Blah, blah, blah. But this one I think I know that there was a tough one for us to get into with Castile. I can't remember if it was the last one or not. I think it was the last one because that was the one that you were like, I can't.
No, that was with Annie's
in the bath.
Annie.
The bath.
Annie Bath.
There's lots of like bath time shit going on in these books.
I had 1 bath in the past year. I don't bath.
I mean, like traumatic bath in these books. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pee-pee tar hair in Dollenganger. We had Lysol bath in Castile, plus all the Tony back washing backs. And then
Who bath? Oh, it was Fern's fake touchy bath.
Fern's fake touchy bath.
What about Dawn's shower rape?
Ugh. It's really sad.
I don't know. So I guess my point is...
VC Anders was horrified of bathrooms.
3 is the pattern, so we're looking for 3s. If it happens 3 times, it goes in the bingo card.
Something I'd like to mention, too, is, they brought in the twin characters. They barely talked about them. They referenced them a couple times. I know the boy was Richard and the girl was...
Melanie,
yeah. Okay. And, like, about how they're,
Melanie
like...
Rose.
Okay. And how they're, like...
They're like Betty Ann, only lively.
but how they're like such identical twins. So there's another thing with twins, whatever. But also, I feel like they just sort of like dropped the Fern. Like once she got found, I don't know. They just like kind of dropped that.
It was the end of the. It was the end of the fucking book.
Yeah,
man.
I know. It just seemed like things were kind of going in hard and kind of fizzled out. Like
yes, it did
like
a
there
fizzle.
were like not even flashes in a pan, but like a in pans for this one. It was like
a talc.
Yeah, so like the beginning where it was like, oh my gosh, custody battle for Christy. Just kidding. And then it was like, oh my God, Michael Sutton's there's gonna be no, not really. And like, oh, Clara Sue did like a raid your board. She's no, like just
the end.
There's a kidnapping. No, like it's just like everything just happened in such short, like small succession. But that didn't make it more interesting to read. It made it harder to read because there were like long passages of stuff where like nothing was happening.
And then I read Q3's reports.
Yeah.
Looked at the profit and loss column. We discussed adding a convention center and how historically this wasn't added and the possible revenues for the fiscal year ahead.
And also she keeps looking at like grandfather Cutler's portrait and he's got like different faces that tell her things, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Anthropomorphized like Angel Doll.
Like Angel Doll, yeah.
Like.
I know, you hate that. I like it better if it's a painting though. Just looking up and he's like, I know, she's just like, all right, whatever. Like for some reason, like she finds some like more strength than like rapey granddad than anyone else. Like she'll look at the portrait and be like, yeah, okay, you're encouraging me to do this thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that? What is that?
What is that?
Goddamn, Dawn.
I don't know. Do you want to do a book club question?
Okay. Where are we at?
I don't know.
Are we tossing the questions back in the bag?
We are.
Oh, okay.
We're at 136. I'm going to read mine to you and you read yours to me.
All right, I've already had that one.
Why'd you write this down? I am going to ask you this. Would you want to read another book by this author?
I just copied them down.
Why would you put this one in here?
Throw it away.
This is all we're reading.
This is the point of the story. Oh, here you go. Here's your new question.
No, I already did that. Okay.
Nope.
Did you race to the end of the book, or was it more of a slow burn?
Oh, it burned.
Burned like a herp.
I raced towards the beginning looking for the pace.
Yeah. Nice.
I did not find it for a while.
Great.
Now, which character did you like best and or least? Fern sucked ass.
Fern
Hate her.
sucked.
Even
yeah,
though she
it
was
was
a
really
child.
upsetting. Like, don't lie about trauma. That's just fucking don't. This is so messed up. And also, yeah, I guess because Trisha wasn't in it that much, I would say Bronson.
Oh, not Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn is great too, but she's still like, oh, this person's intentions that are clearly their intentions are probably not their intentions. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've started tucking into Midnight Whispers. You?
A little bit, a few pages. So yeah, our next episode will be Midnight Whispers, which is from the point of view of Shristri.
I'm not gonna Christy.
Shristri.
You can say that. I'm just gonna say Christy with an IE.
Shristri.
It's either that or Kristy, like from the Babysitters Club.
But that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christy can be like that. There's too much with a Shristri.
You're gonna get sick of doing that.
I might. Time will tell.
Oh boy. So that's that. And enjoy yourself on your cove with your loaves of bread.
I love you, dear listener. Good night. Thanks for listening to VC's Pieces podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
Technical support is provided by Boo and Matt. Thanks for answering all of my stupid questions.
Music used is Dust in the Attic by Broken MC under a Creative Commons license.
Email us at vcspiecespodcast@gmail.com with your thoughts and comments.
You can also follow us on Instagram. We are at VC's Pieces podcast.
New episodes are released every other Friday to give you time to read along. In the meantime, settle into the cove, find your real dad.
Oh, and don't forget, Douse yourself liberally in Philip repellent.
Ugh.